Hello class. Today we are going to be learning how to bag our own groceries. Now bagging your own groceries is a very important skill to have, both personally and professionally. So a lot of times these days grocery stores are switching to a system where they'll have a cashier who rings up your food, but you are responsible for bagging your own groceries. Stores such as Fresh and Easy and Winco come to mind. Also, if you're able to successfully bag groceries, that opens up a lot of job opportunities for students of all types. Because the grocery store tends to typically have a lot of turnover, and there is a great need for clerks who can bag groceries in a timely, efficient, and safe manner for the customers. So, a successful bagging of groceries has, in my opinion, three standards that we'll be talking about today. The first standard is that it is safe for the customer. And in terms of safety, I mean, meats should not be mixed with any other sort of grocery item, especially fruits and vegetables. And then to further that point, you want to bag certain types of meats with only related items of that meat. So, for instance, you wouldn't want to mix ground beef and chicken or chicken and pork. And the last thing touching on safety is you never want to bag any sort of food item that you will consume with household cleaning products or anything of that nature. The next standard that I want to talk about is that the job is done efficient and in a timely manner. Bagging groceries on your own or in a professional setting can be a task that is very stressful because long lines tend to happen in grocery stores, and you want to make sure that if you are shopping for yourself that you're getting out of there as fast as possible so the other customers can buy their groceries as well. Or if you're working for the grocery store, you want to make sure that you're providing an experience for each customer that leaves them smiling on the way out. So now that we've talked about those standards, we're going to talk about a modification that we will use for this demonstration. So to make the job easier for this particular student population, I have pre-labeled grocery bags for them. So they will know when they're bagging that particular item to group it in the bag that it goes in. So today we will be using 4 different types of groceries. The first one is frozen. The second one is labeled dry goods. The third is labeled meat. And finally, we have a bag for dairy products. So now that we've gone over why bagging groceries successfully is important for our students, and we went over what the standards look like for a good job, I'm going to demonstrate what a successful grocery bagging looks like in a store setting. Okay class, so now that we've gone over those standards and why grocery bagging is an important task to be able to do, we're going to get into actually bagging the groceries. So I've broken this down into several steps, and the first step I want you guys to do when you're bagging groceries is to survey how many you have. So to get a visual picture of how many bags you might need to see what types of groceries are on the table. So in this case, we have cheese and yogurt for our dairy products. We have Canadian bacon and ground beef for our meat products. We have some frozen strawberries, peanut butter and oatmeal for our dry goods. And we also picked up some Tide laundry detergent and a gallon of water. Now, the next step in this process is going to, after we've surveyed the landscape of what we bought, we want to pick out any items that aren't going to need a bag. And what I mean by that is anything heavier I'd say, or as heavy as a gallon water jug, you're not going to want a bag. Personally, in this case, it's because more than likely the bag tends to break. So what I want to have the class do is set these items aside. So in this case, the gallon of water and the Tide, which is also equally as heavy, are going to be set aside. So now that we have set those aside, I'm going to organize the groceries in the manner in which they should be bagged. So going along with our dairy bag, we look at what we have and we realize that yogurt and the cheese are dairy products. Moving on to our meats. We realize that Canadian bacon and ground beef are both meats, but remember, going back to the standards of a good job, these meats come from different types of animals, so we would want to separate them even further. We only have one frozen item, which is the strawberries. And lastly, the dried goods are combined together as well. So now that we have organized our groceries into a manner that's going to provide the best organization and safety for us in terms of the food health, we can start bagging the groceries. So the first bag that I have is the dairy bag. You want to make sure that you get some air in it and then gently place the items in the bag. We will do so for the meats, the ground beef in its own bag, and the Canadian bacon in another. We will bag the dry goods. And last but not least, put the frozen items in the frozen bag. Now that all the grocery items have been bagged, you are ready to exit the store. So class, there you have it. There are some tips in a full demonstration of how to neatly and safely bag groceries in a timely manner. Now, once again, to just reiterate, this is an incredibly important skill to have. It means that students of all abilities can go out into grocery store settings and have a level of independence where they can complete this task. It also gives them a really handy vocational skill in an industry that is generally always looking for new hires. So thank you very much for watching, and please remember the grocery store bagging tips that I left you with.